Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. I am Neeraj. Today, we are diving into a very interesting topic: Mahatma Gandhi's opposition to the creation of a Jewish state in Palestine. This is an important yet often overlooked aspect of Gandhi's legacy that help us to understand his broader belief and values. So, let's explore his thought together and uncover the reason behind his stance on this complex issue. So, first, start with Gandhi's sympathy for the Jewish people. So, Gandhi was a powerful voice for the oppressed, always speaking up for those who suffered. He had deeply sympathized for Jewish people and their long history of persecution, especially during the rise of Nazi regime in Germany. In 1930 article titled The Jewish, he expressed solidarity with the Jewish struggle, comparing their sufferings to that of India's untouchables. Despite his empathy, Gandhi opposed the idea of Jewish state in Palestine. And this might seem confusing at first. Let's break it down why he held this view. Gandhi believed that Palestine already belonged to the Arab people. He famously stated Palestine belongs to the Arabs in the same sense that England belongs to the English. For him, taking land from a one group of people to give it to another was not only unjust, but also contrary to his principle of fairness and equality. This belief reflects his deep understanding on justice and his commitment to treating all communities with respect. Now, let's discuss the core reason behind Gandhi's opposition. One major reason was his strong commitment to non-violence. He felt that establishing a Jewish homeland through violence would contradict everything he stood for. Gandhi believed that no just cause should be pursued with force, as this undermines the moral integrity of the movement. Imagine this: Gandhi saw violence as a cycle that only lead to more violence, not peace. His focus was always on a peaceful resistance and dialogue, making his opposition to Jewish state not just a political stance but a deep moral commitment to universal justice. In addition to these moral reasons, Gandhi also feared that if the Jews settled in the Palestine and forced out of the Arab population, it would only create more conflicts and suffering. He believed that true peace could only be achieved through understanding and cooperation, not through the displacement of one people by another. This belief in powerful coexistence is in a central part of Gandhi's legacy. And it is important to remember that he was not just opposing the idea of a Jewish state, he was advocating for the rights of all people involved in this complex situation. Now, let's connect Gandhi's view to the broader context. His opposition significantly influenced India's foreign policy for many years. India did not officially recognize Israel until 1992, in a fully diplomatic manner. And this was largely because of its support for Arab rights. Like leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru aligned India with the Arab struggle against colonialism, viewing the establishment of Israel as an act of colonial aggression. In Gandhi's time, the situation in Palestine was closely tied to global politics and the fight against colonial rule. Leaders around the world were looking at Palestine as a test case for justice. And Gandhi's voice was a critical part of that conversation. His belief about justice and non-violence shaped the way India approached international relations, ensuring that it stood in solidarity with oppressed people everywhere. Understanding this historical context helps us to see the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian conflicts today and why it remain as a challenging issue. Why it is remain a challenging issue. So this is what the thing. And Gandhi's opposition to Jewish state in Palestine was not just about that specific issue. It reflected his broader philosophy of life. He believed that any quest for justice must be achieved through peaceful means. This philosophy continued to resonate today, inspiring movements for civil rights, social justice around the globe. And think about it, Gandhi's approach teaches that true change comes from dialogue and understanding, not from using force or violence. In our world filled with a conflict and struggle for power, his legacy reminds us of the power of peace and the importance of the fighting for everyone's right, not just our own. His life and work shows us that the lasting change is possible when we commit to nonviolence and mutual respect. This lesson is especially relevant today, as many communities still fight for their rights and recognition. So, in summary, Gandhi's stance against a Jewish state in Palestine was rooted in empathy for the Jewish people and a strong belief in justice and nonviolence. He recognized that taking land from the Arabs to create Jewish homeland was unjust, and he was committed to fighting for rights without restoring to violence. And here are some key takeaways from today's discussions are: number one, Gandhi sympathized with Jewish struggle but opposed the establishment of the state at the expense of Arabs' right. Second is his dedication to non-violence defined his approach to justice and advocacy. Third one is Gandhi's influence shaped India's foreign policy, aligning it with Arab nations for decades. And last, fourth one is his legacy of peace remains relevant today, reminding us of the need for dialogue and understanding in our pursuit of justice and equality. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. I hope this exploration of Gandhi's view on Palestine has sparked your interest in his philosophy and the complexity surrounding this historical issue. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and subscribe for more discussions on important historical topics and other different topics. Until next time, let's remember to seek peace and understanding in our own lives and communities. Thanks for listening.